This army has reached 40,000 members, and now I'll be answering one of the largest questions you guys have been asking on my channel. Settings? Sense? Aimbot settings? Bro, what's your sensitivity? Oh my god, what are your settings? Clix got aimbot? What's your DPI? Closet hacker, maybe? I need those settings. Today, I'm not just gonna show you my settings. I'm gonna go into depth on how I get the best settings and boost your FPS to hit clips like I do. But before we get into today's video, make sure you guys like and subscribe, because we get 100 likes in today's video, I'll give away some free skin crates in the next live stream. First, we need to fix your raw aim. By default, Windows tries to predict where you want to move your mouse. This ruins your muscle memory. So you want to go down to settings, look up mouse settings, and then go to additional mouse settings, and then go to pointer options. Disable pointer point precision and make sure this is on number 6. Next, we want to tell Windows to stop treating Roblox like a background app. Search for graphical settings and make sure Roblox is on high priority using your integrated GPU. If you do not have an integrated GPU, high performance integrated GPU will be used. While you're also here, make sure Optimize for Windows is checked and that hardware accelerated GPU scheduling is also on. And this is something that a lot of people don't know. This is the secret sauce to give you more FPS out of Roblox. You want to go down to your Roblox player, go down to properties, go to compatibility, and you want to make sure that disable full screen optimization is on and that this app is not running as administered. For Windows 10 and Windows 11, there's something called game mode. You want to make sure this is on. Years ago, this was bad, but the updates of Windows 11, this actually gives you more FPS. So you're gonna go and search down here, go for game mode settings, and make sure game mode's on. I almost forgot, go down to settings and look up power plan. Make sure you're using the Razer Cortex power plan. You will have to download the Razer Cortex, which will be linked down below, but this one is optimized for best gameplay performance. Before we get into my Roblox settings, make sure you right-click your desktop, go to more options in the NVIDIA control panel. Now this only works if you have a NVIDIA GPU. For those of you using AMD, settings will be down below for you. Make sure you navigate over to manual 3D settings and go down to low latency mode. Make sure you have it set to ultra. This forces your CPU to send frames to the GPU immediately, which makes your mouse movement feel instant. You may also copy my other settings I have in here as well. Another secret sauce is make sure you download this really cool thing called NVIDIA Profile Inspector. Link will be down below. This allows you to go into your GPU settings and basically customize it a little more. A few things you want to look for in the NVIDIA Profile Inspector is making sure your refresh rate is set to highest refresh rate, maximum pre-rendered frames is set to 1, low latency is ultra, low latency is enabled, VSync is forced off, virtual sync is forced off, VSync is set to standard, and there's one other one you want to look for, which is a little bit down here, which you want to make sure that multi-display mode is set to multi-display performance mode. Otherwise, if you do not set properly, an application on your second monitor might redirect the hertz on your main monitor. Also, if you have a 4000 series GPU or higher, make sure smooth motion is enabled. You also want to make sure that you go down to your NVIDIA control panel and make sure your drivers are set to game-ready drivers and up to date. Otherwise, you can come into performance problems with using outdated drivers. Oh, I almost forgot. Some mouses have external apps that you can download to customize your mouse. Make sure you look on Google to find out if your mouse has it. For me, I use the Razer Viper V3 Pro as my mouse here with these settings. In performance, I have a DPI customization of 2 different DPIs. Up and down, I have 12,000 or 1200, and left and right, I have 1196. And then for polling rate, I use 4000 polling rate. As for everything else, it's pretty much generic, and I don't use anything else there. Now we are ready to leak my Roblox settings. You want to hit escape first, go to settings, set this to 240 FPS or above what your monitor refresh rate is. If your computer cannot hit 240 FPS, lower it down to about where your computer can reach it. You can check the FPS counter up here to figure out what FPS you should be using. Moving on, camera sensitivity, I currently have a 0.122, but you can change that in a little bit here based on how you want to move inside of Roblox. Volume, I set this to 3, and graphic quality, I set this to 3. Reduce motion effects on, because I found that gives you actually more FPS. Other than that, performance stats off, micro profile off, GU navigation off, all that off, because you don't need any of that. Moving on to the part you guys are probably all waiting for. But before we get in this part here, make sure you guys like and subscribe and comment down below if there's anything I'm missing here. Alright guys, we'll go into settings here. Disable shadows, disable textures, disable wraps, Xable flashes. This basically makes so there's nothing in the game that can cause GPU render lag or more lag in game. They're useless, you don't need them. As for this, toggle aim off, crouch off, toggle sprint, auto sprint on, easy slide on, scroll encrypt on. I don't really use it, but you can use that on. The rest of this is set to what it is currently, sensitivity 1, AdSense 1.1, horizontal shift 1, vertical sensitivity 1, camera zoom point 2, field of view 120. I'm probably gonna get a few comments in the description below about people complaining about that being too high. All of this needs to be off. Field of view effects, anything that causes distraction that might mess up your aim, turn those off. High tax off. Keybind interface, turn that on. High teammate display, keep that off. The rest should be, as you guys see here, singles, weapons, damage, high knuckle flashes, all that good stuff there. As you can see, these are my crosshair settings. It's pretty generic, and I'm probably gonna get a few comments of people complaining about how my crosshair is actually not as good as people think it is. But feel free to stop the video here and copy these crosshair settings if you want to use my crosshair inside of Roblox Rivals. Now, the reason why I use a little dot there is because that covers the whole hitbox of Roblox Rivals. If that dot is on a player, it should hit them. And now, the one that people are probably going to yell at me for is my keybinds. Most of my keybinds are actually default, except for sprint, slide, and a few other ones. If you want to use my keybind inside of Roblox Rivals, pause the video and set them to what you have here. You guys are probably wondering, well, that's pretty generic here. You're not really doing anything special here. What is this secret app that gives you more FPS? Well, I'm going to show you guys all in a brief second here. This is an app called Process Lasso. And now you guys are probably wondering, what the heck is this? It looks like hacks. It's not. It allows me to customize priority class, GPU priority, and CPU affirmities, which basically tells me like, okay, so computer only use these cores inside the GPU, which in simple terms, it's kind of like only use part of the GPU for this game, keep everything else the same. Now, I do not recommend touching anything on here unless you know how to use GPU priorities, CPU classes, and all that kind of stuff there, because you can really screw up your computer if done wrong. What I have here is I have all my system processes, including OBS, running on CPU core 16 to 31. Although I have Roblox, which you guys will see in a second here, effectively running on 0 to 15. So I basically said to my computer, you know what? Keep Roblox on its own CPU, and then keep everything else on its own CPU. So by using one CPU, I sort of gave myself 2 CPUs. This boosts my FPS about 80 to 100. It's crazy to do here. And you can also do stuff like rules. Like you can say, hey, I want this to be on high priority for IO. I want this to be above normal for GPU, above normal all that. There's a lot of settings to be saying here, but I recommend not touching this unless you have to. Remember, we have a Discord server down below. And also feel free to choose one of these videos here and subscribe.